Hello everyone, what is up? It is me, AlbyMTG, and for today's video we have another episode of my Cardsphere story, the series where I send out and trade via Cardsphere and show you guys every single trade that I make, and we're sending out a ton of cards today. We're sending out 21 cards over 17 packages, and the cards total up to over $300, so we will be sending out quite a bit of valuable stuff here throughout the course of this video. Can't wait to show you guys, and because there's so many cards for us to talk about, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it right away. Of course, I am sponsored by Cardsphere. Be sure to check them out as well. I very, very much appreciate the sponsorship, and their service is fantastic. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the video. We're going to start off with the packages that have multiple cards in them. First off, we have two Glimmer Voids here going to one user, both of these Glimmer Voids being from the set Original Mirrodin. Very nice card here. Sees play in Modern Affinity decks and sometimes the Lantern Control decks as well. The next card we have here is two copies of Tami Field Researcher, again, both going to the same person. Not really sure why they want Tami. Maybe it's a little bit of a speculation, or possibly a Advanced Spirits kind of sideboard card that they're collecting. So that could be a thing. The next one is a Recurring Nightmare here. It is slightly damaged. You can see, not even slightly damaged, but slightly played. It's got a little bit of wear over here on the sides. You can see some of the white stuff on the sides there. So this is not in near mint condition. We're sending this away. It's slightly played. And then we also have a Spellskite in here as well, going to the same user. So very interesting selection of two cards there, but those will be sent away to the same user. And then we have two copies of Chalice of the Void. This one here is from Original Mirrodin, and this one here is from Modern Masters 2013, the original Modern Masters. So two extremely, extremely good cards here in Chalice of the Void. These see play in all sorts of formats that they're legal in. So just, again, very, very good cards that we're sending out here. Then we go on to all of the packages that only contain one card. Those are all the packages that contain multiple. So we'll start off here with a Keranos God of Storms. Pretty good card here, probably for some commander shenanigans, or possibly a sideboard card in modern blue-red decks. Pretty good either way. Then we have Cinderglade. Cinderglade is, of course, seeing play in Modern in the green-red Valakut or green-red Scapeshift decks. Very good card there. Again, could also just be like another commander card, getting your green-red mana base together. The next card we have here is Nissa Vastwood Seer, one of the flip planeswalkers from Magic Origins, and then she flips over into Nissa Sage Animist. Again, just a very, very decent little card there. The next one we have here is another green card, this one being a very good card in Modern to hose the control decks that you might be playing against as long as you're in green, and that is Tutor the Last Troll. It's a very, very good card. Has hexproof, can be countered, as well as the ability to regenerate as well, so it's very, very hard to get rid of Tutor. So that's just a fantastic card that we're, sending away to someone. Next up, we have Emrakul the Promised End, one of the mythic rares, or one of the chase mythic rares, I guess, from Eldritch Moon. It's pretty much Emrakul and Liliana the Last Hope, I think, are the two big hits out of Eldritch Moon at the mythic slot. You have like Collective Brutality at the rare slot as well, but I think in terms of mythics, you're hoping for something like Emrakul, or you're hoping for something like Liliana the Last Hope. Emrakul sometimes sees play is a sideboard card in Modern Tron. I've seen some people saying that the win percentage for Modern Tron in a game where they've resolved Emrakul the Promised End against a control deck is like 95% to 5% or something like that. So it's a very good card whenever you're playing against control. Just, a fantastic card if you're playing Tron. And maybe if you're playing some Commander as well, it's another good card for there. Then we have Monastery Mentor. Again, this card I believe is restricted in Vintage, so you can't be playing too many copies there. It does get out of control quite heavily when you're talking about casting your Moxen and then just making a 1/1 with Prowess as well. Sees a little bit of play in like Fringe Modern Tokens decks as well, but nonetheless, just a very good card, again, that we're sending out here. Then we have one of the artifacts. This is Mindslaver. This is a mythic rare from Scars of Mirrodin. Originally printed in regular Mirrodin again, but then got reprinted in Scars. Sometimes sees play as the win condition in Mono Blue Tron, is where you'll mainly see Mindslaver. And then again, just a fun little card in Commander here as well, that someone may be picking it up for that. After that, we have a copy of Toxic Deluge. You can see that we're starting to get to the point where the cards in my hand are like the really good ones that we're sending out here. Some crazy good cards are going out. Toxic Deluge, a good, sometimes vintage playable card, but mainly a legacy staple. Also just perfectly fine in your commander decks as well. Good way to clean up the board if you're not playing a ton of creatures, or even if you're playing like bigger creatures, you can just clean up all the smaller ones. Next up, we have the third copy of Chalice of the Void that we're sending out in this video. This one is, again, from Original Mirrodin. There was one from Modern Masters 2013, two from Original Mirrodin that we're sending out in this video. So, again, another copy of Chalice here. After that, we go to Sensei's Divining Top. Again, another fantastic card, no longer playable in Legacy. It did get banned there because Miracles was quite the deck in Legacy. Some people who played it were, extremely happy to be playing it. The people who, were counterbalance Sensei's Divining Top locked were not in the best positions. So, ended up getting banned there because Top is just fantastic. Also banned in Modern as well. So just again another fantastic card that someone's picking up. After that, we have a card that's still on the Modern ban list as well, but also sees play in Legacy and occasionally in Vintage, mainly Legacy though, and that is Stoneforge Mystic. This is also one that some people have been speculating might come off of the ban list in Modern soon. That's not what this video is about though, so this one is just that we're sending this one off. We did hold on to it a little bit during the last ban and restricted announcement, but we finally found someone else who wanted a Stoneforge Mystic at a reasonable price, so we're sending off the Stoneforge Mystic. After that, we're sending off a Sylvan Library. I believe this one is from 4th edition. I want to say it's 4th edition. We'll know for sure when we go to check online on Cardsphere.com. You'll see what condition I labeled it as. It's either 4th or 5th edition, but I'm pretty sure it's 4th edition. Again, Sylvan Library, just a fantastic card, probably going in someone's commander deck. I personally play mine in my Canadian Highlander deck. Again, just a fantastic card. And then I believe this is the most expensive card that we are sending out today, and this is the final card that I have here in my hand, a Mythic from Eternal Masters, Vampiric Tutor. Again, this is an extremely powerful card. 1 black mana for an instant. Search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. You lose 2 life. The 2 life is extremely negligible when you can go ahead and just pick up whatever card you need for the following turn. It's going to be just a fantastic card for whoever it is that's, getting this card. So again, we'll go and rifle through them very fast. The video is going to end up being quite long, like I said, because we're sending off so many cards. Again, Vampiric Tutor, Sylvan Library, Stoneforge Mystic, Sensei's Divining Top, Chalice of the Void, Toxic Deluge, Mindslaver, Monastery Mentor, Emrakul the Promised End, Thrun the Last Stroll, Nissa Vastwood Seer, Cinderglade, Keranos God of Storms, another Chalice of the Void, yet another Chalice of the Void, Spellskite, Recurring Nightmare, Tamiyo, another Tamiyo, Glimmer Void, and then finally one more Glimmer Void. With that being said, we're going to go ahead onto Cardsphere.com now to take a look at some of the financial aspects of things, and I'll see you guys over there. Alright, hello everyone, here we are on my sending page for Cardsphere again. Like I said, we're going to be sending off quite a lot of monetary value here throughout quite a few cards, $313.47, over 21 cards in 17 packages. We're just going to go ahead and get right into it. So first up is Mindslaver at $3.40. This is 80% here for the Mindslaver. It looks like Mindslaver is starting to crawl back up in price a little bit here, $4.26 in comparison to $3.91 that it was a couple of months ago, because I was seeing that there was 92% here versus the 80% we're getting for it now. But you can see in comparison to somebody who traded off at like 55%, the 80% is quite a good mark for us. So more than happy to be sending out Mindslaver. Next up is Glimmer Void, both of them at $9.04 a piece for a total of $18.08. You can see an index price here of $13.91, so we ended up going quite low compared to what I normally like for my packages. Again, the cards that I'm sending out here in these packages are from my friends who have given me these cards to send out via Cardsphere, and then just, it's because Cardsphere is so much easier to get the money in your account, and the prices that you can get are significantly higher than what you would sell off to a buy list from any vendor. They gave me these cards so that I could send them off via Card King, or so that I could send them off via Cardsphere instead of something like Card Kingdom, another online seller. So these are the cards that we're getting significantly more than we would buy list prices there. Even at these lower percentages, like 65%, it's still significantly better than buy list prices at like 50%. So even though it is significantly lower than what I personally like, my friends were okay with going as low as 65%. So we're sending away these Glimmer Voids at 65. Next up is the Chalice. We have one here for $35.72 from Mirrodin, and then another one for $33.57 from Modern Masters 2013. We'll go ahead and start off with the Mirrodin one. You can see here the Mirrodin one, $35.72. Pretty on par with everyone else that's up here. We are one of the lower ones. 73% seems to be like the minimum that people will trade these off for. Again, like I said, they were fine with 65%, so they were also fine with 73% as well. So that was the Mirrodin one. Then we're on to Modern Masters 2013. You can see ours was the $33.57 here. Again, fairly low in comparison to some of these other percentages here, like 90% is great. But they just kind of wanted the money as soon as they can, so 73% is what we ended up getting for this Chalice of the Void from Modern Masters. After that, we're on to the two Tamios for $4.68. $4.68. Again, you could see 73%. We felt like we probably weren't going to get much more than that for Tamio. She's not really a very sought-after card. Maybe a little bit more with Banned Spirit slowly becoming a thing, but Tamio is just not, necessarily a staple in that deck either. It's just kind of a good card, out of the sideboard sometimes, but not necessarily in all of them. So $4.68, 73% here for the Tamios. After that, we go on to Sensei's Divining Top for $16.99. 82%, nice and reasonable. You can see some as low as 75% here, or that's 76, another 76. So people are willing to trade these away at slightly lower. Ours was in near mint condition as well, so ended up being better than these slightly played ones and these moderately played ones as well, despite them having slightly higher percentages. Again, basically anything over 80% we're willing to send out just like right away, so 82% more than happy to send it away for the Sensei's Divining Top to this user. Alright, after Sensei's Divining Top, we go to Keranos God of Storms for $5.22. You can see here, 75%. Again, we felt like we probably weren't going to get much more than that. You can see maybe if we waited a little bit longer, we might be able to get 5% more for it. But like I said, my friends are just trying to get the money basically as soon as possible. So pretty much if you had an offer that was reasonable enough for today, then you're getting these cards. Maybe not even today, maybe over the past few days is what I should be saying. But yeah, Keranos going off at 75%. Cinderglade coming up next. Also, I love this user's name, Some Dude Mark. That's exactly how I spell my name as well. So very nice name there, sir. Battle for Zendikar here, $2.14. You can see ours was 80%. Someone already today sent one off at $1.75, 65%. So we're one of the higher percentages on here, and again, basically 80% is just like a snap send for us. So a very nice card to be sending out there in Cinderglade. Next up is the Vampiric Tutor, which actually might not be as expensive as Chalice of the Void. Now that I look at it, no, I think it's still the most expensive card we're sending out. Vampiric Tutor at $37.23. Percentage of 81%. You can see it's been a while since the last trade for one. It's been almost 2-3 weeks. Those were slightly higher percentages, but again, over 80%, and we can just send it off right away. So we ended up going with this one, 81%, $37.23. Not too bad for Vampiric Tutor. Next up, we have Nissa Vital Seer. $5.27 is what we went for. 85%. Perfect. It's above the 80% mark. Someone on the same day sent one off for as low as 61%. If they would have, waited possibly a few more hours or so, they could have been sending it off for, again, 24% higher. So when we saw the 85% mark here, we were just very happy to be sending off Nissa. After Nissa, we have the Sylvan Library. It is from 4th edition. Like I said, I was debating between 4th edition or 5th edition. It is the 4th edition one. I just kind of forgot as I was going through the cards there. $16.62 here for this 4th edition Sylvan Library. That's a percentage of 82%. You can see pretty reasonable with some of the other cards that are along here. There's some lower ones, 71, 74, 75. Above the 80% mark, perfectly fine with us. Also, it's been like 2 weeks or so since the last time one was sent out, so you don't really get a ton of people asking for Sylvan Library, especially the white-bordered ones. You'll get a lot of people asking for like the Eternal Masters ones because those ones have the hollow stamp on the bottom. You can pretty much say that they're real. You don't have to worry about potential fakes with these white border Sylvan Libraries. Also, no one likes playing with white bordered cards. And so if you want to play with a black bordered one, you're either playing with the extremely expensive Legends version or you're playing with the Eternal Masters version. So I think that's also just like a big part of it is the fact that it's a white bordered card. Leaving Sylvan Library, we go on to Toothrun the Last Troll at $12.19. $12.19 is 84%. Again, seems pretty consistent with everyone else that's up here. Lowest one here is 80%. So yeah, you can see that when people know that this is a great card, and they're only willing to accept 80% or higher in most situations here. Someone else did beat us one day early. They ended up getting 92% instead of the 84% one day earlier. So we did miss out on that one. Unfortunately, could have gotten an additional 8% there, a little bit over $1. But oh well, we still got a nice little trade there for Throne the Last Troll. After Throne, we have Monastery Mentor, $7.78. 778 is 83%. We are the highest one on here, tied for the highest with someone else who traded one away the day before us as well. So again, above 80%. Nice and happy to be trading off Monastery Mentor. Got a good little price for that one. Toxic Deluge for $10.30 is 80%. Again, the 80% mark, pretty consistent with what's up here. Some people, again, going as low, 74%, 68% is quite low. So yeah, again, 80% or higher, we were happy to send it out. If we would have, done this a couple days earlier, then we could have made it an additional $1.50 or so, that extra 10%. But still happy with that trade there for the Toxic Deluge. After Toxic Deluge, Emrakul the Promised End, $10.29. We're looking at 80% here again. Someone else beat us earlier that morning. There was 2 copies traded away for slightly over $1 more, 10%, compared to what we ended up getting. So I did miss out on those ones, unfortunately, but still above the 80% mark is happy for us to be trading away Emrakul. After Emrakul, we're almost done. It feels like this video has been going forever, but we're almost done. I apologize. This one, I think, is the most expensive package containing more than one card here, the Recurring Nightmare and the Spellskite. So Recurring Nightmare slightly played $21.89. You can see here the index price dropped to $22.80 in comparison to $24.54 because the card wasn't in near mint condition. However, we still ended up getting a solid percentage for it here. You can see 96% on a slightly played card is fantastic. More than happy to be sending it off away there, and we feel like that's a fantastic trade for us to be getting. Probably one of the best trades on today's list, even though there are cards that we're sending away that are more expensive. I think getting a 96% for a slightly played card that's over $20 is still quite good. Next up, we have Spellskite at $6.42, $6.42 being 80%. Again, we did beat out, some of the numbers on this list, like the 70% here. These ones that got traded away in the 50% here, those are, significantly lower than even my friends are willing to go. They were willing to go just basically anything above buy list prices. 55, I guess, is close to buy list, but still, more than happy to be getting 80% for the card instead, $6.42. After Spellskite, we're on to Chalice of the Void at $37, this one being from Mirrodin, so we were already this trade up here at the 73% mark. Unfortunately, the user that was offering slightly more, 76%, only wanted one of them, so we couldn't trade away both of them to that user. So we ended up taking about $1 or so less to trade away the second Chalice of the Void, but we did end up trading away this first one here at $37. Again, slightly more than some of these other ones, but it's still a very reasonable trade either way. And then finally, the Stoneforge Mystic, $24 even for Stoneforge, 73%. Again, slightly lower compared to what I probably would have traded away for, but they were happy with 73%. So it beats out some of the other ones here, like 62%. I think some of the trades in here might have been from around the time the band announcement was. So people looking to unload, around these lower percentages because of the banned and restricted announcement announcing that Stoneforge wasn't getting unbanned. Again, 73% is pretty reasonable, even though it's a fairly lower percentage. We are one of the, we're like right in the middle here. Some were slightly higher at 80%, and then of course these low ones that I already talked about at 62%. So with that being said, I have a lot of shipping to do. I'm going to be playing some Modern Night Monday today. I'm going to try out Burn for the first time tonight instead of Green Black Rock. Gonna put down Green Black Rock for probably a week or two until Assassin's Trophy comes out, and then I'm gonna pick that right back up. But gonna give Burn a try tonight, and then when I get home, probably just gonna be sending out a ton of cards. Of course, I'm gonna have to package all of these properly. Of course, no one likes their cards to be damaged in the mail, so I want to make sure everything is nice and secure, especially with some of the more expensive purchases like $37 and like this Chalice of the Void package being close to $70 just by itself. So with that being said, that has been today's video. I've got a lot of work ahead of me to send these away. Again, this has been the most expensive set of cards that I'm sending away here via Cardsphere. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Let me know down below in the comments. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to check out my sponsor Cardsphere, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of my Cardsphere story, where we send out over $300 worth of cards to traders on Cardsphere for less than 1% of the amount of money that we're trading away here on Cardsphere today. You guys can get a personalized shout out at the end of every single one of my videos by supporting me over on the Patreon page. So again, with that being said, I would like to give a huge thank you and shout out to Jeremy, Jason, BadWolfMTG, Daniel, and Jayathi Swarn. They support me over on the Patreon page at a tier high enough for me to thank them at the end of every single one of my videos. I believe it's the $3 tier or higher. Get your name at the end credits of every single video. So you never need to feel obligated to support, but if you guys want to hear your name read like Jayathi Swarn, Daniel, Jeremy, BadWolfMTG, and Jason do, then you guys can go ahead and support me over on the Patreon page if you're enjoying my content as well. With that being said, thank you so much for watching the video.